Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing January beauty favorites. I wanted to also kind of get your vibe. I am including some other items aside from just makeup, like some skincare items and hair, stuff like that. Products that I was really loving that I wanted to see, is this something that you even care about me throwing into the monthly beauty roundup, or do you want it to just strictly be makeup every single month? Because honestly, we can do it either way. We can do makeup only, or we can also throw in some other beauty items that I love throughout the month. So let's get into it. So let's get started off with makeup because I have to talk about this foundation with you. I feel like you are going to be shocked that I love this as much as I do, but also I think you're going to love it just as much as I do. Before I talk to you about specifically why I love this foundation so much, let's move into a demo where I kind of like show you the way I like to apply it and how I get this to work for my dry skin type. So my favorite way to do this is post skincare. You guys know I do my skincare typically about like 15 to 20 minutes before I do my makeup. I have to use some sort of moisturizing base, not only underneath the foundation, but also mixed into it. If you have a dry skin type like me, where there's visible dry patches on the base, that helps so much so that the foundation has a little bit more slip. And I also think it delays the set down time because it sets down really quick. The Guerlain oil, this is the Youth Watery Oil. I love this one. It's not particularly oily. I do about 2 drops with 1 pump of foundation. The Guerlain oil is much more similar to a serum oil hybrid, and you'll see that in the finish. This foundation will not set down with a strong sheen. I am using this on a like flat top kabuki brush. This is an It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Pro buffing brush. Very like 2016 type of makeup. I feel like these were the brushes we were always using, but for good reason, because these are great for matte foundations and anything with some intense coverage. So I go in with my sponge before it completely sets down. This is just a damp beauty blender, and I really kind of like press and get rid of any stroke marks in those final moments before the product sets down. So I was actually lucky enough to try this foundation before it launched, and I feel like the strong suit of this product is its longevity, but also it is so incredibly full coverage. I mean, truly a flawless finish of coverage. And you guys know, you know me, you know how much I hate matte foundations and how it is so hard for me to find a matte foundation that I actually like. Like, I've actually enjoyed wearing this foundation and felt like it looks good on my skin and it's a comfortable wear. So full confidence. I love this foundation, and it's not dry. I think that's why I like it so much. I also have another foundation that I've been wearing for about 6-7 weeks now. I can't tell you about it yet, but I'm so excited that when I finally get the opportunity to share it with you, I'll be talking more about that in another favorites video. But it's been really fun because they're 2 completely different foundations. So it's like this and then the other one that I've really been liking. They're so different that I wear them for different occasions. But the Anastasia one, it's really impressed me. And that, like I said, you guys know, not a matte foundation girl. So next favorite is a concealer. This is from Sarah Creel. This is called the Face Flex Concealer. So again, I'm going to show you how I like to apply this, and then we'll kind of go back into why I love it so much. So this I just place on any, you know, hyperpigmentation from post acne that I can still see. And I also like to add just a touch of coverage on the corners of the nose, but also mainly focus this around the eye space. And then I'm just using a little Bobbi Brown concealer brush to further press this into the skin. Coverage is really nice, and I think that this also looks really great for like no makeup days as well. The other concealer that I found that plays really nice with this foundation specifically is the Lancome All Over Concealer. That makes a really great duo with this foundation if you want more of like a true matte finish. You know, the other thing I love about this concealer, it's not finicky. It's not a difficult to use formula. A lot of times with dry skin, I feel like I'm finagling products and trying to get them to work for me the way that I want them to. This doesn't take a lot of prep. It doesn't take a lot of under eye moisturization. Like, it just looks really good with my day-to-day skincare routine. It doesn't always need powder either, which I feel like is great. And then I always go back in with my sponge and just blend out those lines. The reason I was initially intrigued by the Haircare Face Flex Concealer is because one of my friends over on TikTok, Jenny from Green Eggs and Glam, she posted a video on it, and I was like looking into this concealer. It's supposed to be really ideal for underneath the eyes because it's not going to settle into lines, and that's kind of always been a little bit of a pain point for me here on YouTube, because for whatever reason I feel like on YouTube people are always commenting on the fold I have underneath my eyes. I've had that line underneath my eyes since I was a baby. Like, my brother has it, my sister has it. It's like something, it's just the way my eye is shaped. I just kind of got a little bit insecure about the comments I was getting about my under eyes on YouTube specifically. It's only on YouTube. I feel like on my other sites I don't really get those comments, but I wanted to try this because I was like, maybe it would make a difference. It's very expensive, but I do think that it lays underneath the eyes really nicely, and it doesn't migrate quite as much as some other concealers. I will also say, although this is expensive, this shade match is pretty ideal for me. And that's one of my other biggest annoyances, I guess I would say, with concealers and foundations specifically. I feel like if you, and I'm sure you feel this as well, if you have a skin tone similar to mine, it's almost like you're paying extra for that ideal shade match. I'm paying for the trade-off of the shade match. I still love my Kosas Revealer Concealer, but ever since I've gotten this, I feel like it's been my day-to-day concealer by choice. And I also really like this on no makeup days where I'm just running errands. I just want to look presentable. I'm sure you all already know this, but Patrick Todd did come out with 4 new shades of his blush duos. This is the one I wore the most. This is called She's Seductive, and I did do a video comparing She's Seductive to She's Flushed, She's Blushing, and Not Too Much. So you can kind of see the nuances in each shade and how they compare, just to hopefully be helpful in case you already own one and you want to see the differences between the tones. But She's Seductive has by far been my favorite. I wear this with happiness. It is a no compete type of blush color, and what I say when I'll always say that, like a sad beige blush or like a non-compete type of blush, that's what I like to call them, because it's not going to compete with anything else on the face. This type of shade will look good with everything. No makeup all the way to like a full glam smoky, because it's not going to draw attention to the cheek. It's not necessarily an accessory type of blush shade. It's just a placeholder for that healthy glow on the apple of the cheek, to give you that realistic looking flush, but not to provide, you know, the accessory point of the makeup where it's like a coral blush or a plum blush. I just like how it fades into the makeup look and it doesn't have to be the focal point, which is kind of the way I ideally like blushes. Like, I just love a good blush that, you know, disappears into the face. And I really like the Patrick Todd duos because you're getting the same color in 2 different formulas. So you're getting the cream and the powder. You could isolate them and just wear one or the other, or you can wear them together. A new makeup product that I've reluctantly added into my routine is a finishing powder. I feel like this is because I don't like to wear too much setting powder on my entire face because I have a dry skin type. So I feel like by using so much setting powder, it just kind of takes away from the overall look that I'm going for. I like a little bit of a glow, like, and honestly, I like a little bit of a greasy look. Not, you know, oily or like oil slick, but I need a little something. Like, my makeup needs to look a little marinated, like my skin has some production of natural oil to it. And sometimes I feel like if I overdo it with setting powder, it just completely negates the look that I'm trying to go for. So what I like to do is do my setting powder on the areas that I actually need it, the areas where I want to prevent the makeup from moving around throughout the day, and the areas that I'm more prone to producing a little bit of oil on those isolated pockets on my face. Then I like to go in with the finishing powder, kind of add that little bit of radiance, kind of add that little bit of soft blur, a little bit of pearl, natural glow without looking like I'm wearing an actual highlighter. And I have been loving the Guerlain Meteorites. I feel like by lightly just dusting this all over the skin, not only does it help increase my makeup's longevity throughout the day, it also gives that soft, natural glow that I'm looking for. It just takes away the matte look to my skin and just adds a little bit of radiance without adding anything that's actually like sticky or like, you know, slick on the skin. I have been playing around with finishing powders for the past like 3-4 months, and I love the way that it kind of like, obviously it does just that, it finishes off my makeup, but like I love the way my base looks with a little bit of finishing powder on. Like, it just, I feel like it's adding to the overall finished effect of the makeup without making me look Like, I have a ton of powder on my face, but I do have like actually a lot of powder on. Really impressed with this mascara from L'Oreal. This is the Paradise Big Deal mascara from L'Oreal. I mean, honestly, the wand was not impressing me, but I really like it, and I really like the way this mascara looks when I build it up on top of itself. Honestly, I feel like 1 to 2 coats and it kind of gets the job done. Like, it looks very voluminous and lengthy, but it's not too intense for daytime, because you know sometimes mascaras are like a little bit too crazy for daytime and you don't want that. This mascara looks good, just a light coat all over the lashes. You're gonna get some length, a little bit of wispiness, but it's nothing too intense. And this is the waterproof version, so you do need to remove it with a makeup remover at the end of the day, but I don't find an issue with that. It's just a really good affordable mascara, so go off L'Oreal. I had 3 major heavy hitters in the lip category this month. The first thing is my Mario Almond lip liner. This is the Ultra Suede Sculpting Lip Pencil. The shade Almond, the chokehold that this shade has on me, I don't know what it is specifically. It just defines and contours my lips perfectly. I never ever use the brush on the other side of lip pencils. I always use the one on Mario. I think his formula lends itself really creamy, very blendable, and although these aren't a long wear lip pencil, I found that if I just set it with a little bit of powder, it lasts longer. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I don't expect it to last all day. I only wear lip gloss, so I'm going to have to do touch-ups more than the regular person. If you're okay with that, I think you'll still really like it, but this color is so perfect. I feel like I can overline my lips enough to where I kind of look like I have a little bit of filler. Like, they look a lot larger, and I like that. So I can really cheat the size of my lips with this look, with this liner. And because of my skin tone, it doesn't look as obvious, I guess. I don't know. I love Almond. It's a beautiful color. And then I've had 2 little lip products that I've been loving. So this is a new shade from Givenchy. This is it's the Rose Perfecto Liquid Balm. You guys know how obsessed I am with the shade Milky Nude. They came out with 109, which I believe is called Spicy Maple. This one is much more warm. It's got a lot of really beautiful gold to it. And when I tell you that these are one of the most flattering lip products ever, I mean it. Like, I'm just so infatuated with the way that this looks on my lips. It's nude without washing me out or making my skin tone look sallow. It has, this shade specifically also has such a great amount of warmth to it, but it's not orange. It doesn't look yellow. It doesn't make my teeth look yellow. And they're so beautiful. They're creamy, they're pretty, they're a dream. They're literally like lip balm meets lipstick. So it's like a really balmy lipstick, but you still get some really great opacity. I love these. Spicy Maple, so good. You guys, this one, okay, you know how much I love like a lip balm, like a glossy lip balm. You know what, you know me, you know, I love a tinted lip balm. I love a glossy, balmy, something that's like giving gloss, but also the moisturization of a lip balm. This is from Edam. This is the Le Chou Chou Lip Softening Balm. This is so good. And I just have the clear. There are tinted ones of these. It is so glossy. There's also a little bit of a lip exfoliant in this, so it actually helps with chapped lips, dried lips, flaky bits on the lips. But the shine is like so good, and it's thick. It is thick. It is ideal. If you like what I like, you like a thick, buttery lip balm. You want it to be shiny, glossy, protective. You want that layer on your lips. This is incredible. I will let you know if I try the tinted ones. Honestly, the clear has made me want to try the tinted ones. It's so nice. So wear this with just like a little bit of lip liner. You've got a really easy lip combo. I also keep it on my nightstand as well. Glossier's Dew has been my favorite scent these past couple months. I love this for daytime, but I also think it's strong enough and has enough body to it that you can actually carry it into nighttime, and it feels nice and cozy at night as well. It is still the Glossier You type of scent where I feel like you get those sharp, peppery notes. But what I really like about Dew, despite this being like white and probably you thinking it's going to smell very white floral, that's what I thought when I saw it, and I really am not like super into white florals, but it doesn't lean that way. It actually has more of a powdery, wood heavy scent to it. So it definitely leans more into that sandalwood, cedar, You're gonna get all those cozy masculine notes, which I love. And I do feel like for the winter time, it's really nice. Like I love it. It's just a nice, easy, everyday fragrance. And it's one of those scents where when I wear it, I feel like myself. Like it makes me happy. It makes me feel calm, and it's not too girly, which I really don't like with fragrance. One of the things that I've really been enjoying is incorporating an azelaic acid. So this is the one from Naturium. This is the azelaic acid 10%. Niacinamide in it as well. This has changed my skin in the 2 months I've used it. I feel like it's helped so much with this like perioral dermatitis that I've been suffering from around my nose. It's not completely gone yet, but I had like literal cracks in my skin where the dermatitis was making the skin so dry, so tight that I would be like bleeding on the corners of my nose, and redness around the corners of my nose has always been a thing. That's just like an eczema hotspot for me, but this was not eczema. This was bad. It would be to where even like when I was washing my face, I would be wincing because any type of cleanser that would get in those cracks on the corners of my nose, it was so painful. And then I had a lot of close comedones, like texture, just like the whole thing around my mouth. It was really frustrating. And this is what Susan Yara herself said to do. Azelaic acid, it took some time, but wow, the redness around my nose has improved significantly. And then the same thing with the just texture and like weird bits and bobs that I was having on my face. It's like the azelaic acid really did a whole lot for me, and I'm almost done with this bottle. I think I'm gonna keep azelaic acid in the routine. This next product, again, changed my skin in such a short amount of time. I owe a lot to this. This is from Prequel. This is the multi-acid milk peel AHA exfoliating solution. Oh my gosh. This is, obviously it's a stronger strength, it's 15%, but my skin can handle peels, chemical exfoliation. Like I just don't really have that much sensitivity to products like that. And I know my skin's threshold, if that makes sense, just because I feel like I tried a lot of chemical exfoliants, but wow, this is great. I feel like I don't get any type of itchiness, agitation, dryness, like just, you know, alleviating some of those closed comedones and texture and really getting my skin back to where I want it to be. We're not there yet, but I think that the two of these plus some other serums are doing the, you know, heavy lifting. Because once I started incorporating these into my routine, I was like, okay, we're finally getting somewhere. Okay, last product I really want to mention. This is from Kenra. This is the Kenra Platinum Texturizing Taffy. Okay, first of all, this smell is addicting. It smells like sour candy. This uber thick, let me show you the texture. It is a really thick texturizing taffy for the hair. Like you can see that string. I've been using this for, look at that. You can see like the fibers from the product. I use this for my slick backs. I use this in combination with the Day 3-in-1 Cactus Cream. And I also have been using this for my flyaways. Honestly, I feel like sometimes I forget. And then I just have like the craziest flyaways from the top of my head, but this helps with, you know, kind of setting those down. Then my hair doesn't look as wild. I forgot to do it today again, but I've been using this for my slick backs, and I like this so much more than hairspray. So typically I would do like the Day in the squeeze tube, and then I would hairspray any of the pesky bits around the face. But I honestly feel like hairspray when you're doing a slick back, it's like low-key kind of painful. And so I wanted something that was not as strong hold as a hairspray or a gel, because gel I feel like is kind of painful too. So I wanted something that was like the in-between but had a little bit more strength than the Day 3-in-1, and I found that in this, and I love this. I'll even use this in the lengths of my hair, because this is also really nice if you have longer hair and like let's say you want to add a little bit of texture, body pieciness to the bottom of your hair. You can do that with this. So it's a really nice multi-use product, but it has a good amount of hold to it. So it is great for these pesky bits of hair around the hairline. When you're doing a slick back, they'll like stay in place all day. And then like the ones that are on the back of the nape of the neck as well. It's like a really good in between a styling pomade and a gel. And you only need the tiniest bit, but I've been using it so much because you guys know I wear my hair back like all the time. I like how it's a no heat type of style. I really like this. So this in combination with the Day 3-in-1, best thing ever, like best duo ever for a slick back. All right guys, so those were my January beauty favorites. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you like this little switch up where it's not just all makeup and I talk about some other products as well. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below. I'd love to know what your favorites for the month of January were, or if you tried any new launches that you were really impressed with. I'd love to know about that as well. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye.